Mark, can you please call your mom?
Huh? Mom? What for?
She keeps texting me while I'm at work. She even called during my lunch break. You're off today, right? I'd appreciate if you could talk to her.
I don't want to. It's my day off, and I'm binge-watching this new show.
But I'm at work.
You're texting me now, so I guess you're just fine.
I'm texting you to ask for help with your mom. At this rate, she'll probably keep messaging me until evening.
Just ignore her.
Could you ignore her if you were in my position? You always reply quickly when she contacts you.
Well, if I ignore her, she'll just get more worked up.
See, you can't ignore her either. Don't tell me to do something you can't do yourself.
But you can stand up to her. I can't talk back to my mom.
I can't either. Plus, I'm the one dealing with her constant criticism. It's not easy for me to handle these conversations.
You're much stronger than me. You're the only one who can handle my mom.
I am not handling her.
I've been afraid of my mom since I was little. That's how I was raised. You know she's a bit of a control freak. I'd rather not deal with her if I can help it. There's no point in resisting anyway.
It's not fair to dump this all on me. We promised we'd work together to distance ourselves from your mom, remember?
Yeah, about that. I've been thinking maybe it's not so bad after all.
What?
I'm single, you know? She's still my parent, and even though she can be intense, I think she loves me deep down. Now that I'm in my 30s, I'm starting to worry about her future. I'm not sure if cutting her off is the right thing to do.
You were the one who initially wanted to cut ties with her. That's why we agreed to work through this together.
I felt that way then, but I've grown and changed my mind.
I see. So you'll handle your mom from now on, right? Since you don't want to be estranged from her?
Well, not exactly. I'd like to keep things as they are for now.
So you want me to keep being the buffer?
I didn't say that.
That's what it sounds like. We have things we haven't told your mom, and we can't keep quiet forever in this situation.
I know. Sorry, I'm not feeling well.
Wait, what about your mom?
I'm sorry, but can you handle it? I need to lie down for a bit.
All right, get some rest. Sarah, dear, I need you to tell me the dates of your periods for the last 6 months. Excuse me? What are you talking about? I want to help you figure out your fertile days. There are apps for that now, you know. I'm sure you're not tracking it yourself since you always say you're leaving it to nature. But you're a woman in your 30s now. The chances of not conceiving naturally are increasing. That's really not an appropriate topic. Why not? We're both women. Just because we're the same gender doesn't mean everything is up for discussion. Oh, I see. You must be infertile. That's why you won't tell me. That's not it at all. Then why won't you tell me? Because these are things that I don't want to share. Please stop, Barbara. No matter how often you contact me, I'm not going to get pregnant just because you want me to. Huh? I'm only pushing you like this because you're not getting pregnant. It's your fault for focusing on your career instead of fulfilling your duties as a wife. You've been married for 3 years now. It's abnormal that you haven't had a child yet. You have to understand, we have our own pace. I'm telling you to have an heir, and that's final. I'll listen to what you have to say after that. I'm sorry, but I can't talk anymore today. Wait right there. Promise me that you'll have a child, Sarah. Don't you dare ignore your mother-in-law. Mark, I'll be home late today.
Okay, got it. I'll order some takeout for dinner.
I'm sorry, but I can't do this anymore.
Huh? What do you mean?
I can't deal with your mom anymore.
Sarah, please, can you handle her for just a little longer? I'm finally getting back on track, and I don't want to risk my health by dealing with her right now.
I understand, but it's taking a toll on me. Today she told me my ovaries would rot if I didn't have a child soon, and that I'm not getting pregnant because of my looks and how my parents raised me.
I'm sorry, but I think she's just worried.
Worried? She just wants grandchildren. She keeps talking about needing an heir, though I don't know what for.
Don't be so harsh.
Try to understand why I feel this way. By the way, Mark, did you buy that $1,500 watch?
That's cheap for a good watch.
Even so, did we need to buy it now?
Oh, come on. Don't take your bad mood out on me. You should work on that, Sarah.
I would have said something about that even if I was in a good mood.
I'm just tired of this.
Seriously?
You've been so irritable lately, it feels suffocating to be at home.
Now you're the one complaining?
I'm trying my best here. You're expecting too much from me. You said you'd support me. Was that a lie?
How did you get there? I've been supporting you in my own way.
Maybe my mom was right after all. This marriage was a mistake. I should have chosen someone more domestic. I'm sorry, but let's sleep separately from now on. And don't bother cooking for me. I need some space from you for a while.
Sarah, why aren't you answering my calls? I know you've read my messages. I'm sorry, Barbara. I've been busy at work. Work, work, work. That's all you care about. When are you going to focus on giving me grandchildren? Barbara, please, we've talked about this. Mark and I will have children when we're ready. You're not getting any younger, you know. Your eggs are dying every day. I am well aware of my age, thank you. But having a child is a big decision that Mark and I need to make together. What's there to decide? You're married. Having children is what you're supposed to do. There is more to marriage than just having children, Barbara. Nonsense. A woman's primary duty is to continue the family line. Are you saying you don't want to give Mark children? That's not what I'm saying at all. We just want to wait until the time is right. The time is never right if you keep waiting. You need to start trying now. Have you been tracking your ovulation? Barbara, I've already told you that's not something I want to discuss with you. I'm only trying to help. If you're having trouble conceiving, there are treatments available. I can recommend a good fertility doctor. We're not having trouble conceiving because we're not trying to conceive right now. Not trying? What do you mean you're not trying? Are you using protection? Is that why you haven't gotten pregnant yet? Barbara, please, this is a private matter between Mark and me. There's nothing private about it. This is about the future of our family. Mark needs an heir. Mark doesn't need an heir. We're not living in medieval times. Don't you take that tone with me, young lady. I raised Mark to be a good son who values family. If you can't give him children, maybe he needs to find someone who can. I can't believe you just said that. This conversation is over. Don't you dare hang up on me. Sarah? Sarah! Mark, we need to talk about your mother.
What now? What did she do this time?
She's been harassing me all day about having children. She even suggested you should find someone else if I can't give you an heir.
Come on, you know how she is. She doesn't mean it like that.
How else could she mean it, Mark? She's literally threatening our marriage over this.
You're overreacting. Mom just wants grandchildren. Is that so wrong?
It's wrong when she's pressuring us and interfering in our personal lives. Why can't you see how toxic her behavior is?
She's not toxic. She's just passionate. She wants what's best for us.
No, Mark, she wants what's best for her. She doesn't care about what we want or how we feel.
That's not fair. Mom loves us.
Maybe she loves you, but she certainly doesn't respect me or our marriage.
You're being too sensitive. Just ignore her if it bothers you so much.
I can't ignore her when she's constantly messaging and calling me. And why should I have to? Why can't you stand up to her and tell her to back off?
You know I can't do that. She's my mother.
And I'm your wife. Doesn't that mean anything to you?
Of course it does, but I can't choose between you and my mom.
I'm not asking you to choose. I am asking you to set boundaries with her.
I don't see why we need boundaries. She's family.
Being family doesn't give her the right to disrespect me or our choices.
You're making a big deal out of nothing. Just let it go.
I can't let it go, Mark. This is affecting our marriage. Can't you see that?
The only thing affecting our marriage is your constant complaining about my mother.
I wouldn't have to complain if you'd stand up to her.
Just drop it, Sarah. I'm not in the mood for this.
Fine, but this isn't over. We need to find a solution to this problem.
Whatever, I'm going to bed.
Sarah, I've been thinking about our conversation yesterday. I hope you understand that I only want what's best for you and Mark. I understand that's what you believe, Barbara, but your approach is causing a lot of stress in our marriage. Stress? What stress? Having children is a joy, not a stress. The stress comes from the constant pressure and interference in our personal decisions. I'm not interfering, I'm guiding you. You should be grateful for my experience and wisdom. Barbara, with all due respect, Mark and I are adults. We can make our own decisions about when or if to have children. When or if? What do you mean, if? Are you saying you might not give me grandchildren after all? That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying it's our decision to make, not yours. I can't believe what I'm hearing. Mark would never agree to this. He knows how important family is. Mark and I are on the same page about this, Barbara. I doubt that very much. I raised my son better than that. I'm going to talk to him about this. Please don't. This is between Mark and me. No, this involves the whole family. I won't stand by and watch you ruin my son's life with your selfish career ambitions. My career is not selfish, Barbara. It's part of who I am. Your job should not come before your duty as a wife and future mother. I am very disappointed in you, Sarah. I'm sorry you feel that way, but I'm not going to change my mind or my life plans based on your disappointment. We'll see about that. Mark will hear about this. Mark, your mother is on her way over. She's upset about our conversation regarding children.
What? What did you say to her?
I just told her that our family planning is our decision, not hers.
Why would you do that? You know how she gets about this stuff.
Because it's the truth, Mark. We can't keep letting her control our lives.
Great, now I have to deal with her being upset. Thanks a lot, Sarah.
Deal with her? You mean you're going to take her side again?
I'm not taking sides, I just don't want to upset her.
So it's okay to upset me instead?
That's not what I meant. Why do you always twist my words?
I'm not twisting anything. I'm just tired of being the bad guy in your family.
You're not the bad guy. You're just different from what they're used to.
Different? You mean how I have my own thoughts and opinions?
Come on, Sarah. You know that's not what I meant.
Then what did you mean? Because it sounds like you're saying I should just fall in line with what your mother wants.
I'm saying you should try to get along with her. Is that so much to ask?
I've been trying to for years, Mark, but it's never enough. She always wants more.
She just wants us to be happy.
No, she wants us to live the life she thinks we should have. That's not the same as wanting us to be happy.
You're being unfair. Mom has always supported us.
Supported us how? By constantly criticizing my choices, by pressuring us to have children before we're ready?
She means well. You're just too sensitive.
I am not too sensitive. I am setting healthy boundaries, something you seem to be incapable of doing.
Here we go again. Why does everything have to be a fight with you?
It's not a fight. It's a discussion about our future and our relationship.
Well, it feels like a fight to me. I'm tired of always being caught in the middle between you and Mom.
You wouldn't be caught in the middle if you stood up for us as a couple.
I do stand up for us.
When? Have you ever told your mother that her behavior is inappropriate?
I talk to her sometimes.
Talking isn't enough, Mark. We need action. We need you to set clear boundaries with her.
You're asking too much. You know how she is.
That's exactly why we need to set boundaries. Her behavior isn't going to change unless we make it clear it's not acceptable.
Can we not do this right now? Mom will be here any minute.
Fine, but we're not done talking about this. I'm sorry, but can't you see how unreasonable your mother is being?
She's just upset. She'll calm down eventually.
And what about us? When do we get to calm down? When do we get to live our lives without her constant interference?
You're not being fair. She's just concerned about us.
Concerned? Mark, she's trying to control our lives. How can you not see that?
She's not controlling us. She's just expressing her opinion.
Her opinion? She's making demands and guilt-tripping us. That's not just an opinion.
Look, can we not do this right now? I'm tired and stressed out.
You're always tired and stressed out when it comes to confronting your mother.
What do you want from me, Sarah? I can't change who she is.
I want you to stand up for us, for our marriage, for our right to make our own decisions.
I did stand up for us. Didn't you hear me agreeing with you?
Agreeing with me isn't enough. We need you to actively set boundaries with her.
I can't just cut her off. She's my mother.
I'm not asking you to cut her off. I'm asking you to establish healthy boundaries.
You make it sound so easy. You don't understand what it's like with her.
I understand perfectly well. I've been dealing with her behavior for years now.
It's different for you. You didn't grow up with her.
That's exactly why I can see how toxic her behavior is. You're too close to see it clearly.
Don't call my mother toxic. She's not perfect, but she loves us.
Love doesn't excuse manipulative behavior, Mark.
You're twisting things again. Why do you always have to be so negative about my family?
I'm not being negative. I am being realistic. Your mother's behavior is harming our marriage.
The only thing harming our marriage is your constant criticism of my family.
My criticism? What about your mother's constant criticism of me, of our choices?
That's different. She's just worried about us.
And I'm worried about us too. About the future of our marriage if we can't set proper boundaries with your mother.
There you go with the boundaries again. Why can't you just let things be?
Because letting things be is what's gotten us into this mess in the first place.
Mess? What mess? We were fine before you started this whole argument.
We're not fine, Mark. We were ignoring the problem, hoping it would go away. But it's not going away, it's getting worse.
The only thing getting worse is your attitude towards my mother.
My attitude is a result of her behavior and your inability to stand up to her.
I do stand up to her. You just never see it because it's never enough for you.
When? When do you stand up to her? Because I've never seen it.
I do it in my own way.
Your own way isn't working, Mark. We need to be a united front against her interference.
United front? You make it sound like we're at war with my mother.
Sometimes it feels like we are, and I'm tired of fighting this battle alone.
You're not alone. I'm right here.
Are you? Because most of the time it feels like you're on her side, not mine.
I'm not on anyone's side. I'm just trying to keep the peace.
Keeping the peace isn't always the right thing to do, Mark. Sometimes you need to rock the boat to make real change.
And what if that change tears our family apart? What then?
If setting healthy boundaries tears your family apart, then maybe it wasn't as strong as you thought it was.
I can't believe you just said that. Family is everything to me.
I know it is, Mark, but we're a family too. You and me. Doesn't that matter to you?
Of course it matters. Why do you think I'm trying so hard to keep everyone happy?
But that's just it. You can't keep everyone happy all the time. Sometimes you have to make a choice.
I won't choose between you and my mother. I can't.
I'm not asking you to choose. I'm asking you to prioritize our marriage, our future.
Our future includes my family too, Sarah.
Yes, but not at the expense of our relationship. Not at the expense of our happiness.
And what about my mother's happiness? Doesn't that matter?
It matters, but not more than ours. We can't live our lives just to make your mother happy.
I'm not saying we should. I just don't want to hurt her.
Sometimes, Mark, we have to risk hurting people to do what's right for us.
I don't know if I can do that, Sarah. I really don't.
Then where does that leave us? Where does that leave our marriage?
I don't know. I just don't know anymore.
Mark, we need to figure this out. We can't go on like this.
I know. I need some time to think. Can we talk about this later?
Fine, but we can't keep putting this off forever. We need to make some decisions.
I know. I promise we'll talk soon. I just need some space right now.
All right, I'll give you space, but this conversation isn't over.
I know. Thank you for understanding.
I'm trying to understand, Mark. I really am. But you need to try to understand my perspective, too.
I will, I promise. Just not right now.
Okay, I'll be here when you're ready to talk.
Sarah, did you receive the divorce papers?
Yes, they arrived this morning.
My son talked to me about you. After a few discussions, we decided it's just best if you two split up.
Oh? Did he say he wanted a divorce?
Well, not in those words, but he seemed to want it. Besides, if you're going to divorce, sooner is better, right? I want to start arranging marriage meetings for my son. Please submit the papers today.
Gladly. I just filed them at the city office. Thank you.
What? You've already submitted them?
Actually, I've been considering divorce myself, so this worked out perfectly.
Well, I always thought we never got along since you became my daughter-in-law, but it seems we finally agree on something, this divorce.
Indeed, I am touched that you could actually be useful for once.
You've certainly found your voice.
Well, I'm not your daughter-in-law anymore.
Fine, I'll never have anything to do with you again. Don't contact my son unnecessarily.
I understand, but things are going to get tough for you.
What do you mean?
Since you forced this divorce, I might as well tell you, your son was suffering from mental health issues because of you before we got married. Now he's struggling with male infertility, so please treat him kindly. Oh, and he's only working part-time now because he suddenly quit his full-time job.
He said he wanted to take it easy for a while.
Well, good luck taking care of your son. You'll need it.
Wait a minute, what are you saying, Sarah? I know you're reading this. Answer me!
Where are you? Mom told me you divorced me. What's going on? Please explain.
Oh, you're back from your part-time job?
Yeah, and I saw all these missed calls and messages from Mom.
Did you talk to her?
No, I'm too scared. I've only read her messages. I haven't replied.
Your mom sent divorce papers, so I submitted them. My things should be gone by now.
Why? Why would you do that without talking to me?
But we haven't talked at all lately. Every time I tried to discuss our future, you said you weren't feeling well and ignored me. Just so you know, you weren't the only one unhappy. I couldn't take it anymore either.
You can't just spring this on me.
You wouldn't even have a proper conversation with me. Don't you dare say that to me.
I have depression, you know.
You had depression before we got married. The doctor said you don't need medication anymore, and we've been married for 3 years. You haven't even been to the doctor in ages.
Depression doesn't just go away. It can come back suddenly.
I know that, but you've changed so much since we got married. I do feel sorry that your mom's behavior caused your depression. That's why I've been shielding you from her. But I'm human too, Mark. I get hurt and have tough times as well.
But you're not sick like me.
So, being sick excuses everything? Your mom berated me every day for not getting pregnant. I endured it, thinking we'd eventually cut ties with her. But then you said you were fine with how things were, and when your mom started targeting me, you just stood by doing nothing. How could you?
I thought you were stronger than me, so you'd be okay.
I'm not okay at all. You quit your job soon after we got married, but you don't even do housework. And even though you're the reason we can't get pregnant, you let your mom blame me because you're afraid of her. I realized I couldn't protect you anymore.
Sarah, I'm sorry. I was wrong. Please come back. I can't do this alone. I can't live without you.
Don't worry, your mom said she'd find you a new wife. She's going to set up marriage meetings for you.
I only want you, Sarah. No one understands me like you do. I'll find a proper job and I'll cut ties with Mom. Please give me another chance. I promise I won't be a burden anymore.
It's too late. You better work, and whenever I ask you to do something, you say you're not feeling well, yet you use my hard-earned money to buy some things worth hundreds of dollars without asking. I don't want to rebuild my life with someone who's become so complacent.
Don't you care what happens to me? If I have to live with Mom again, my depression will definitely come back.
That's something you need to figure out on your own.
What am I supposed to do? I only have a part-time job and hardly any income. Wait, what about the rent? What's happening with the house?
I've called to cancel the lease next month. You can keep or sell the appliances that are left. There's a small amount from the property division. If you need to hire movers, use that money.
Please don't abandon me. It's not like I cheated or was violent. I can't accept this. We can't just end things like this.
I can't do this anymore either. The divorce is already final. Your signature was on the divorce papers, by the way. It was your handwriting. You must have wanted this divorce too.
Mom told me to sign it, but...
That is not something you just sign because someone tells you to. Well, good luck with your mom. I hope your new wife will be able to protect you. Afterwards, I heard that Mark's mother stormed into his house, and Mark confessed everything. When she realized that her son had quit his job and was dealing with male infertility, she apparently went ballistic and berated him for hours. Mark moved back home, and his mother tried to set him up with single mothers several times, but no one was interested in marrying a part-time worker. His depression relapsed, and he's now living off his mother. I don't think his condition will improve while living with her, so I expect he'll have a difficult life ahead. I never wanted to push Mark into a corner, but I don't regret my decision. From now on, I'll focus on healing my wounded heart and reclaiming my life. Thank you for watching until the end. If you found the video satisfying, please hit the like button. If not, please share your thoughts in the comments section below. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Your ratings and comments encourage us to create more content. We have many more videos that'll give you that satisfying feeling, so please check out our other videos on this channel. We'll see you in the next video.